No redemption without love. Life force. Redemption is only possible on the path of love. This law applies on earth as well as in the beyond and must therefore be fulfilled by all beings, otherwise they will remain eternally bound. The characteristic of redemption is light and strength. As long as the being is still without light and strength, it is unredeemed. It has not yet regained its original freedom and therefore also not the ability to work in fullest knowledge. But for the being, which originally stood in all perfection, the deficient state also means a state of hardship and torment, but which it has caused itself through its will, through its lack of love. And only through love can it become again what it was from the beginning. Therefore, love can never be eliminated and must be, so to speak, the basic principle without which there is no higher development. But if love is disregarded, the course of development must inevitably be inhibited, for an influx of strength and light is then impossible, and where this is missing, a chaotic state is the result. For in darkness everything becomes confused, and the lack of strength makes the beingness unable to free itself from the state of imperfection. Light and power, i.e. knowledge and power, are the signs of redemption. An unredeemed being can therefore distribute nothing because it possesses nothing itself, thus, it cannot be loving in the beyond either, and this state is extremely agonizing. On earth, however, the being has strength at its disposal even in the unredeemed state, strength which, although it is not the sign of being redeemed, is granted to it as an extraordinary grace in order to be able to redeem itself. It is the inflowing life force which enables the human being to work in love in order to gain possession of light and spiritual strength. This is why earthly life is a special act of grace, because God imparts something to the beingness which it is actually not entitled to due to its will of rejection towards God. He imparts to it strength to work, even though receiving strength is only part of the redeemed. This act of grace is immensely significant, and yet it remains unrecognized and unused. That which has become weak through apostasy from God receives strength for self-redemption, which it only needs to use properly in order to be able to return to the original state of freedom, knowledge and power. God gave the beingness a life it did not deserve. He directs strength to it and constantly gives it opportunities to be active in love, thus, to use the life strength flowing to it to work in love and thereby redeem itself. But the beingness does not make use of this extraordinary gift of grace. It continues to live unkindly and ignores its task in life, which is to bring it light and strength in the beyond. But their all supply of strength is cut off as long as it does not feel love within itself. And therefore, the course of development in the beyond can only be continued under very difficult conditions if it is not completely interrupted or continued downwards by the being's will itself. For regression can now occur where the being is completely devoid of light and strength and, through its lack of love, distances itself ever further from God. Without love there is no redemption, but love has to develop freely in the being, and God gives it every conceivable opportunity to do so. And even if the process of transformation into love takes eternities, it cannot be avoided, because higher development means an alignment with the eternal Deity, which itself is pure love, and therefore love must be brought to development in the beingness if it is to become again what it once was, a free, light and powerful being which is allowed to dwell in God's proximity. Amen.